And these are the adventures of a temporarily out of work wife and mother. And this is day 6 of my home improvement project, where I am making over my master bathroom and my children's bathroom. And if you've watched the previous videos, then you know that this DIY project has taken quite a few turns. And now that I've had a good cry, a good prayer, and some good sleep, I'm ready for whatever. I got my drop cloths out and my good old tape, and I'm protecting everything. And I've decided to make up for lost time. I gotta repaint that wall that I painted with the wrong paint, the wrong color. And I gotta paint the rest of the bathroom too. Now that I got my second win and my confidence back, it's on and popping. So I'm taping off everything that I've already painted, which is the trim and the baseboards. And I'm also going to tape off this shower because I want to make sure that I have as little to clean up when I'm done painting as possible. Pro tip, whether you're using painter's tape or general tape, it's all going to work the same. And it all requires that you take that tape off as soon as you are finished painting that area. Because if you do not, you are going to have a problem. Paint is going to peel. You're going to have to repaint. Yeah, it's going to be a mess. You're going to have bleeds, and you're going to have a hard time cleaning those bleeds. So what I'm doing right now is just cleaning up the old paint that was left from when the builders painted 20 years ago that you don't really see until you get ready to paint again. I don't know what that's about, but I wanted to remove it because there was no sense in it being there when I was repainting now. And this is me just wiping out the tub and getting rid of all of the paint splotches from that epic fail on the day before I put that drop cloth down for the tub too. Now, the good thing is I purchased good paint. So I got some paint plus primer, and it's not going to take a million coats to go over this super dark gray, even though the paint that I'm going to be putting on the wall in this area is a lighter shade of gray. And this is some of what I was rocking to while I was in here slaving in this bathroom.
Ain't gotta say no names, cause I ain't petty. I can leave you where you left me. When I'm gone, you gon' sweat me. Don't condone drunk texting. No, shouldn't be texting.
So I decided to start painting over the shower. I'm not sure why I decided to start here, but it made sense to me, and so I did. And it wasn't until I started painting with this bright white that I realized that the shower and the counters aren't bright white. There's some weird, very off-white shade of white. I mean, far beyond off-white. So I ended up deciding that the kids' bathroom didn't need to be this shade, because most of their bathroom is their tub. And it would look really strange to have a bright white bathroom with a cream colored tub. So I paint matched to their tub and painted the walls that color. But of course, I painted it with this white first, at least part of the way, before it hit me. Not sure why I didn't consider it. I think it's because my shower is so small, because I have a garden tub in the bathroom, that the difference in color just wasn't as stark. Not to mention, I don't mind having the bright white in my bathroom. I like it. It gives it a very clean look, and I don't have to worry about the walls being nearly as dirty as they get in the kids' bathroom. One, because it's a shared bathroom. Two, because they're more likely to have company that would also need to use their bathroom. No one's using this bathroom but me and the lady's son that I married. And on occasion, one of our kids might come in and wash their face or something like that. But they're not in our shower. They're not in our tub. And they very rarely even use the toilet. So I know a lot of people don't prefer to have white walls in their homes at all, but I actually like white walls. I just need them to be the kind that you can wipe off, which is why I got this semi-gloss for these walls and I got the high gloss for the trim and doors. And it's the same shade of white for both, but it's just a difference in the glosses. Now, you may not be able to see it, but I did a repair on this wall too because we used to have hooks here for our washcloths. And this is what happens when you don't properly sand the repair and let it dry for long enough. It started coming up. Child, I was not about to fix that again. Forget about it. I just painted over it and kept on going. So the lesson here is when you do a repair, make sure it dries completely for 24 hours, sand it, and then redo it. Let it dry for 24 hours again. Then sand it and then paint it. And I did about 2 coats on the entire wall. So everywhere that I painted, I did do 2 layers of paint. For the second layer above this shower, I did try to use one of the mini rollers that came in the kit that I ordered on the Amazon. But baby, I don't know what the hell that roller was made out of because it wasn't hitting on nothing. But of course, you know me, I tried to make it work because the big roller just didn't make sense on that little space between the door trim and where the shower begins. And I did not want to have to hand brush the wall. But guess what happened? I ended up having to hand brush the wall because that little stupid roller was leaving lint all on my wall. I threw that whole thing in the trash and went and got a darn brush. And now we are doing the wall going towards the mirror. We are making some really great progress over here on day 6. And I kept changing up my little routine. Sometimes I would do the edges and then fill it in. And then sometimes I would do the middle and then just go around the edges just to see like how it dried and how much touching up I needed to do once that first layer dried. And overall, I found that either way, I still needed 2 layers of paint. One, because I don't really overload my roller. And as a result, I put a very thin layer on each time, which can be a positive thing. But I'm very careful. And one of the reasons why I didn't get any help with this project is because I'm very careful and intentional. And I've had people help me to paint before, and everybody doesn't paint the same. Some people don't really care about the small details. And that's okay. But I do. So since I do, I look better doing it myself. Now, I do plan on doing a project in a larger area, and that is absolutely going to require some assistance. And hopefully, I don't have to fall out with nobody in order to get that assistance, because I absolutely will critique your work and have you redo something if it does not meet my standards. Because if it doesn't meet my standards when I do it, guess what? I redo it. Now, I'm a clean as you go kind of girl. So you will see me throughout this process, stopping in the middle of painting or doing whatever and grabbing a Lysol cleaning wipe or a towel or cleaning solution or whatever to wipe things off. I just cannot help it. I prefer not to wait until I'm done and have something dried on or caked on or whatever else, and then I gotta work even harder to clean it up. So nope, I'm cleaning it right then and right there. So I've pretty much made it all the way around the mirror. There's just a little bit at the very top, and I want to go ahead and go around the side of the mirror as well as around that outlet before I go around the very top of that mirror. And that mini roller would have really come in handy right here, but I wasn't doing the dang on lint remnants again. Now, one thing that I did not do that I could have done is I didn't tape off the ceiling. And that's because I decided that I was going to go ahead and paint the ceiling, but I'm actually going to end up doing that last. And I pray that I don't regret that, because y'all know paint will drip. No matter how hard you try not to drip it, it will drip. So prayerfully, I don't regret painting that ceiling last. But we'll see, child. Now, if you know me, then you know that I have some very eclectic music tastes. So here's something else that I was bumping while I was working. This is Lady Bling, Untitled. Now, to paint this wall around and behind the over the toilet storage cabinet, I had to use the paintbrush and be very careful to ensure that I didn't end up painting everything but the wall. So here I am doing just that. And at some point, I got smart and sat my tail down because my back was burning. And so were my knees. Child, I am not as young as I once was, and I am clearly not as fit as I should be. But when I say I don't be letting nothing stop me, child, I do whatever I gotta do, however I gotta do it. And once I got all of this tackled, I went ahead and filled in the rest of that wall over there using the roller. And I was able to get pretty close on the side of that over the toilet storage cabinet. Almost lined up to where I was using the brush without getting paint on the cabinet. So I was definitely surprised that I was able to do that, and definitely proud of myself. And I alternated between the brush and the roller to make sure that that was seamless, because even though nobody's really going to see back there and nobody else is going to be in here, it still matters to me that the things that I do are done well and complete, and that I can be proud that I put my name on it.
It's like I forgot who I should be. I'm a boss of motherfucking P-I-M-P. Chase the bag like I invented Monopoly. Only time I got to waste is when I sleep. 'Cause I'm a liar, mightier than a motherfucking giant. Let me fix myself. World keeps spinning and a bitch gon' stay. 'Cause I'm a
success will be. Listen, I had to give y'all the rest of that song. Because, baby, when I tell you, profanity and all, that's a bop right there. So y'all see that I put that lighter shade of gray up, and it's popping. And yeah, I painted that while the white was still wet. And I even hand painted that line that stops right at that door. Because real bosses do real things. Shout out to Lady Bling for that bop. So now to finish up painting our accent wall. And we have leftover paint. So it will certainly make an appearance somewhere else in this house of ours. Because we don't let nothing go to waste around here, baby. And that paint thinner that I'm using right there, yeah, that was already in my arsenal. So it won't be included in the overall cost. Cha-ching.